Hey, it's the Koy Po, you guys. Dre, we got a beautiful guest, and I'm glad he's on here. It's everyone's favorite. Whenever you see him grace the screen, yeah, you know it's about to get even funnier. Whatever it is that you're watching, this man brings more than the A game, and it's just natural. David Koechner, I love you, man. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming to the Koy Po. I know it's a bitch that we have to do this Zoom style. What are we using? What are we using? StreamYard. Whatever the case may be. How is it affecting your life right now, David? Especially with you. I mean, you know, normally you go into the studio and we promote, but now you're finding yourself to do a lot more of this. And are you adjusting or what is it?
Where's your studio?
We're in Studio City. We're right like.
Oh, you're close.
Yeah.
But still, guys, I'm at home.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I am too, like, I do that too. Like when I have to promote, I do it. But I miss going to the studio. I like the energy that I have with whoever the personality is that's interviewing me. But I mean, now we're having to do this for the past year. Are you adjusting to it? Do you like it?
I honestly don't think about it at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If you want to make the choice to have resistance to it, that's your choice, and you're not helping anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, the fact that we can do this is fantastic.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Sure.
You know. So there we go. The fact that I was able to get on StreamWire or whatever it is.
Okay. You know what it
barely,
is.
By
you
the
know
way.
what it is, David.
And you barely got on.
What is it? Stream?
It's written right there on the screen. You know what it is, David.
No, the screen's been taken away from me. It's one of the platforms that I have not used so far, but I was very happy with myself. Actually, very glad that you guys pushed the time, because it took me 20 minutes to download Chrome, get it all set up.
Really?
And then get on here. So it was
all for you. All for you, man.
Yeah, we did this for you, David. David, I'm a huge fan of your work, man. How long have you been in the business?
Well, what do you count?
I want to know, like, when you first decided to be an actor and you came out to Hollywood, what was it? For how long has it been? How long was it from that point to when you finally became that household? When people walk by and go, "Oh my God, I love you."
Okay, my secret desire of I want to do this was at age 13.
Yeah.
I'm from a very small town in Missouri.
Nice.
So, and this is pre-internet, pre-cable.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of books in this small town. The town has 2,000 people.
Jesus.
And there's not a liberal exchange of ideas.
Uh-huh.
Opinions aren't welcome.
Yeah.
There is not a desire to seek higher education. There is the ground. Everyone's a farmer. Mm-hmm. That's your job. So it's a very modest thinking place.
Yeah.
So my mother's side of the family, get this. So I'm Catholic. I don't know if you're familiar with what Catholicism is. My mother had 11 kids in her family.
Yeah. Right.
Out of those 11, 4 were priests and nuns.
Wow.
So to say that I grew up a Catholic is an understatement.
Yeah. Your house was a church, basically.
My parents' worldview was Catholicism. That's it.
Yeah.
And so early on, it becomes this struggle of, you know.
But David, but living in that type of a household, because speaking of Catholicism, Filipinos are very big in that. That's a big part of their culture as well. But they also take it to the extreme. So, like, was that with your case, like, especially with 11 kids, were they monitoring what you watch? Because that's the devil box, and you can't watch R-rated until you leave the house, or you know, or was it more lenient in your household?
Well, we didn't live near her brothers and sisters. We lived 2 hours away.
Okay.
Now, when you say the more conservative, are the Filipinos, are they Opus Dei?
Well, there's two extremes. There's the ones that are extremely extreme, and then there's ones that are more lenient, but yet they're still very heavy Catholic. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, it's very strict. It's very strict, and it's about the Bible. You know.
Let me ask you this: did your parents say the Mass in Latin?
No, no, they didn't.
Up until 1960. I'm going to say two. I could be wrong in this. To the mid 60s, the Mass was said in Latin.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got all these parishioners
Yeah.
there for an hour, not knowing what's being said.
No idea.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy.
So, one of my uncles continued to say the Mass in Latin all his life.
Wow.
So the change was made. I forget the Vatican II. The change was made in the mid 60s, and then everybody could speak English. So they were very Catholic, obviously, and you didn't think about how Catholic you were or not. It is the absolute.
Right.
It is the comparable. I don't even want to say philosophy, way of life.
Yeah.
We went to church for every saint's day.
Yep.
So not just holy days, saint's day. When I went to Catholic grade school, had 16 kids, we went to school every morning.
Ugh. Completely
And
different.
here's the
time
thing
of
about Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so rote, you don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
You're always standing there doing a mantra that makes no sense. And you're trying to avoid the shame that they're trying to stack on top of you.
Yeah.
So it's all counterintuitive to any thinker.
Yeah.
So intrinsically, I always felt like this isn't for me, although you accept it and you do it. But then when it starts getting compounded more and more as you grow up, and it's just more and more restrictive.
So when you were like 13 years old, was that kind of like when you started voicing your opinion and trying to like, no, not at all? Like,
That's not allowed.
yeah, I mean, like, because I told my mom I wanted to be a comic when I was about 11, 12.
Wow.
And you know, already it was kind of like, no, Joseph, you know, it was already instilling what she wanted for me and my future. And that's just not the decision to make, you know.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Tacoma, Washington. I was also a military baby, so I was all over the place.
Okay, but it's a town, and you're getting some worldview. If you're a military baby, at least you're traveling.
Yes.
And your dad knows things. There's no desire to develop a worldview. So it's Catholic. You don't challenge it. That's not even possible.
Yeah.
So you have to silently just decide to divorce yourself from it. You know, you can't argue with them.
Yeah,
you
you
just
can't.
make a personal decision. Like, I'm not part of this.
Yeah. So
And
how they take it when you started, you know, pursuing your personal beliefs and dreams and stuff like that, where they couldn't have control anymore. How was
Well,
that?
that happens. You know, my father was a manufacturer. He manufactured livestock trailers for turkeys specifically. So if you ever see a 40-foot flatbed trailer going down the road with these huge racks and cages on there with turkeys inside,
Yeah.
that probably came from Tipton, Missouri. We didn't have a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So my dad just assumed I was going to go into the family business.
Wow.
Right.
And so he was a bit disappointed that was going to happen.
What age was that, David? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what age was that?
Well, my brother, there's six of us. My brother Mark and Mary Rose were 2 years older than me. And there was a point where my mother's brother, who was an abbot at the monastery, came down to talk to Cecil, my father, about getting us kids to go to college. Because my dad didn't see any value of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
you're gonna
go to
here,
work.
why-
Yeah.
So he thought he'd come down one afternoon and have a conversation with Cecil and, you know, let's get these kids to school. He ended up staying a week.
Wow.
Yeah, to convince Cecil, you got to send your kids to college.
Wow.
So then when I did go to college, there was one choice. If you want to go to college, you must go to Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas,
Man.
or Catholicism,
Yeah.
where my uncle was the abbot of the monastery. So I went there for 2 years. Now, by this time, so when I was 13, I saw SNL came out in 1975.
Uh-huh.
And it's the first time I saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
And that sealed it for me.
That's when you were like, I got to be an actor.
That
I want to be a comedic actor.
That was a revelation.
Yeah.
It was so smart.
Yeah.
And so well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it had so many levels. Now, do you tell anyone? No. Who are you going to tell? Small towns like to shit on dreams.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Plus, there's nobody else pursuing any real thing, you know? Yeah. They're either going to go farm or they're going to go to the military. Or, some like we graduated 68. I would say less than half went to college. And then they're going to just, probably study business or law, right?
Yes.
So I was a poli-sci major because I was always interested in politics. And I really do believe that was probably a desire to go seek a stage. Mm-hmm. Like that. I didn't know how a person went about pursuing a career.
So you just got out of high school, went to college, and now you're going to pursue acting?
I was a poli-sci major for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I realized in the third year when I'm doing all the legislative classes, I'm not going to be a lawyer. No. I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm sure as fuck not going to be a politician. To be a politician, you have to be either A, very wealthy, or from a political family, or the smartest person in any room you walk into. I was none of those things. So I quit going to my classes, which means you're academically ineligible. And so that December, I remember going home and, showing my dad my report card, thinking I'm in trouble. He was delighted.
Ecstatic, right?
Well, because that's the end of that.
Let's go back to making turkey cages, son.
Exactly.
Well, I'm off his dime, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Dave, I don't know what you want to do, but you don't want to go to school. That's the best Cecil Koechner in the business, by the way. Honestly, that was it. Yeah. There was no scolding. That was it. Then he sold me the car I was driving. I was driving a Plymouth Grand Fury 2 that they had let me drive. So I bought that for $400. I got 3 jobs at different restaurants there in town. And then I decided I'm going to go to Chicago because at this point I had read Backstage at Saturday Night Live. I'd read 4 or 5 books on Saturday Night Live. I'd read Wired. So I knew you got to go to Chicago if you want to get onto SNL. So then that summer, a buddy and I took a road trip up to Chicago and saw a show at the Second City, and I was blown away. And it was immediately like, fuck, here's where I'm going. And then walking down the stairs, I saw this poster, and they teach classes.
Yep.
Oh! So I had a matchbook and a golf pencil because, they have you fill out little comment cards. So I open the thing, and I'm surreptitiously writing down the number for this training center because I'm from Tipton, expecting someone to tap me on the shoulder going, why are you writing that down? You're not supposed to have a dream.
Right.
What year is this, David?
That's 85. That's maybe 84.
84.
No, that's 85 because I left in June 85. That was January.
Now, when you left, you told them I want to pursue stand-up or improv. Did you tell them you want to pursue acting at this point?
Yeah, acting.
And what'd they say? Pissed?
They were puzzled.
They said, I got to retract. Hold on. I got to retract, David. I told you the wrong thing. I said 11, 12. I told my mom I wanted to be a comic. 11, 12, I wanted to be a comic. After high school is when I told her I wanted to pursue it. That's when she wanted that's when she lost her shit. That's when she cried. So yeah, it was after I left. So same with you, right? Like when you left, they're puzzled. They can't believe it.
Well, at this point, I'm 24.
Yeah.
And so they just couldn't get their minds around it.
Yeah. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to make a living off of this. It's not going to be good for you. You'll be back.
There was no conversation. There's no practical conversation because I was very stubborn.
Yeah.
And all they said was, well, how long are you going to do that for? Now, once I decided I was going to be an actor, that was it.
Yeah.
I already knew I'm going to make it.
Yep.
Zero doubt.
That's the mindset. Yeah, man.
And so I paused and I said, well, 10 years. If it doesn't work in 10 years, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew they had to have something.
Yeah.
Now, I can't even imagine the conversations they must have had there around the dinner table all those years. Even when Anchorman came out, and I brought them out for the premiere and all that stuff.
Yeah.
you know, it's a nice big show.
Yeah.
You know, everything's blocked off on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know, there's
It's a big
all
deal.
the hoopla.
Yeah, you got the biggest actors in the world
Yeah.
walking the red carpet with you. Well, how they feel about that? What kind of love do they give you with that?
They thought it was good.
That's it? Just good?
But
You
I
did
remember
good,
getting-
son.
I remember getting reports from my sisters from time to time
Yeah.
that they were still worried.
Jeez. What the fuck? That's so annoying.
You know what? I didn't get annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It annoys me, David. No matter how successful, no matter what I get my family members, my mom is like,
it's 'cause-
how about your insurance? How about I'm like, Mom, I'm good.
It's because you play around for a living.
Yeah, they don't get it, do they, David?
In their mind, that's what you do
Yeah.
for a living.
And that's okay. I don't try to explain. They're passed away now.
Yeah.
So I never tried to explain it to them. What I would do when I got a big job,
Yeah.
I would tell them how much I'm making.
You have to. Yeah. You have to.
And I didn't do it to brag.
No.
I did it just to let them know what's possible.
Prove yourself.
Yeah, it
Sure.
also makes them feel comfortable. They're like,
Yes.
okay, you're not starving. Okay, thank you, son. Right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
from 85, how long did it take you to get SNL?
95.
95, so 10 years.
I moved there in 85, started taking classes in 86.
Yes.
So 9 years.
9 years. So you had a vision when you said, when did you read the books? When you found out about SNL?
That would have been 83.
So 83 to 85, he pursued.
Yeah.
He already made the decision that SNL is amazing and this is the door that's going to open my future. From 83 to 85, he gets on, right? You get on to Second City. Where'd you get in?
Well, I was studying the whole time.
Yeah.
Studying at Improv Olympic and studying at Second City.
Second City. And then from Second City, you got to SNL in 95.
95.
But that's
But
what
that's amazing because it's like before, now they always talk about manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, yes, you can say manifestation, but if you live it, if you just live whatever it is that your mind tells you that you're in love with, it's gonna happen.
But that's what
you're
I-
a perfect example, David.
That's what I wanted to ask because we talk about this all the time. We both come from the same town.
Yes.
And we understand coming from small town and what that mentality is like.
Yeah.
But then you had the idea of the Catholicism on top of that.
Yep.
Where do you forge that mindset where like I'm still doing this?
Yeah. Like all that pressure, because there is no pressure than that kind of pressure, especially from your parents and the family that surrounds you. It's kind of like this shield, this human shield that's like stronger than any other force field. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like the energy is so grand. It's like, how do you break through their arms?
Exactly. And by the way, anybody could read the books that you read, right?
Yeah.
But that still doesn't give you whatever that
There's
is
this
inside
drive.
that-
There's
that
this
made-
little
that made you-
drive. Yeah.
Made you do that.
Especially
Yeah,
in your shoes, David. Especially I always try to explain to my son, you don't understand what 1983 was. There was no internet. There was no Instagram or TikTok. What you saw on the TV, which was a very brief second, because there was only 3 channels back then. You better hope to God it came in clear. That's all you knew what was outside of your town. And for you to make that decision is scary.
Yeah.
It's not going to Chicago. It's going to another world.
Another
Whereas
world.
right now, my son can go to Chicago online and enjoy it and be like, yo, I just went to Chicago, Dad. That shit is amazing.
Right.
Whereas for you to make that decision, man, that's got to be especially in 1983.
Yeah, you're
84,
leaving
85.
everything. You're leaving everything.
Everything.
It's like you're going to another, like you said, another world.
Yeah, and to pursue something that, like acting, David, holy shit, bro. And for you to do it that's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, but I had to.
Yeah.
No.
I had to.
Yeah, you had to
That's
because
the answer.
it was your passion.
That's the answer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to. There was no other thought. I have to do this.
That's so dope. And you
That
had
was it.
no other dream. There was nothing else. Nothing. And you
Nothing.
and your goal, David, was big screen. I want the big screen. Correct?
No.
Or was it just any acting, any stage, anywhere?
It's a bit different. I wanted the respect of my peers.
Yeah.
It's a bit misguided in that, first of all, ambition's not a dirty word.
Nope.
You know, it's a healthy thing. But it's less important to me to be famous than it is to be good.
Yeah.
So all I ever wanted was the respect of my peers. Now, it will help you if you have, goals beyond that, very specific ones. But then that also changes your relationships, changes your work ethic, maybe.
Yep.
But it wasn't something that it wasn't important to me.
Yeah.
Fame was not fucking important.
No.
If it came, great. Like, we all know people that need it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we are blessed with people that we know that need it, but you don't see it,
No.
right? And there are those that need it, and you see it, and you're like, ooh, wow, all right.
Yeah.
I need a good living. I need friends. I need to enjoy what I'm doing. At a point, it's kind of like we're cobblers. Do you like this offering? Will this fit you? So, like I said, it could be a bit misguided. You can always have more. I do believe that.
Uh-huh.
You can have more.
Yeah, happiness is always the best reward.
For sure.
As long as you're happy. Like, a lot of people judge success with fame and money. And those are the last two things you want for success.
Right,
Success is being happy with yourself. If you're living your life that you dreamt of, then you're successful. Everything else is just a reward, man. Everything. I always say that, man. And I agree with you 100%, David. It's fame and money. If that's your only drive, then you're not really happy.
Yeah.
You're not.
I mean, imagine if you were famous for, I don't know, anything else, and you still didn't have the opportunity to do what you said you had to do.
Yeah.
You'd be miserable.
Yeah, you would be miserable.
You'd be miserable with fame and money.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
They got all the money in the world. They can't buy happiness.
Exactly.
So
and I've never been on top, but my guess is when you're there, now you feel like you have to keep it.
Yeah.
And there's no way to keep it.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just diminishing returns.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of time up there,
Yeah.
and then it's time to come down.
It's true.
And that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, that's what a mountain looks like, you guys. You climb up, and then you got to come down the other side, man.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's called life, and that's okay. But I will say this, man. You keep climbing because I love everything you do, David. You literally, like, every time you pop up on the screen, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
It's David's time. And I enjoy it, man. Of course, Anchorman, who doesn't, Talladega Nights. I get Goldberg's. Everything else that you've done is amazing. But right now you're doing, is it the right one?
Yeah, it's a non-traditional rom-com. So it's got more comedy in it. Nick Thune and Cleopatra Coleman and Eliza Schlesinger. I actually just worked one day. Nick called me and he said, "Hey, man, the director wants you to be in this. We could shoot you out in a day," because I was working on another TV show at the time. I said I can't do it. He said, "If you'd come the weekend, we'd get it done." So I said, "Fuck it, why not?" Right? Who doesn't want to be in another movie? So did that and went up Saturday, shot it all Sunday, and that was it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And this is this Nick's movie?
Yes, Nick's the lead.
Oh, that's so dope, man. I started with Nick at the Laugh Factory. So
really?
It's cool. I love seeing that, man. I had no idea that was it was Nick's. So and it came out on the 12th. Yeah, and of course you probably just crushed it again. And so I gotta watch. Where can we see it? What platforms?
You know what? If someone looks it up, they'll find it.
There you go.
It is in a few theaters. It is streaming on some platforms.
You know what's crazy is they keep promoting theaters.
I know.
I know.
And it's driving me crazy. Like
Yeah.
I just saw a trailer. I can't remember the name of the trailer. And they said in theaters May. And I'm like, do you guys know something that we don't know?
Exactly.
Because I'm waiting for these theaters to open up.
Yeah, because the schools don't know it.
Yeah, the schools don't know it. My son's still taking a Zoom class naked.
Right.
Okay. Platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh Jesus! Release date. Oh fuck.
There is a YouTube link where they can purchase on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm useless.
You're stupid.
Where else?
I am useless. This isn't helping.
That's all good. Let's just cut this part.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Is this on Netflix?
So, David, I love asking these questions because, this is the hardest job in the world. I'm sorry. Getting it comedy stand-up, first of all, the hardest job. There were so many times I wanted to quit, David. You know what I mean?
Really?
This is my 31st year. When I had my son, I started in 89. And I had my son in 2003. I was 14 years in at that point. And when you're doing stand-up, you take anything. Whatever gives you $100 that night, you're happy. You know what I mean? But then you have a kid, and it's just pressure of my mom telling me, you need benefits now. You need insurance. You got to protect your kid. And it's like, she's not understanding what I was doing. And then, then I started feeling like, yeah, she's right, because the gigs weren't coming like I thought they were. So yeah, there were times I wanted to quit, man. And you just have that inner drive where you're just like, no, I got to do this. I got to keep doing this. And how was it for you when you make that move to Chicago? At what point, were you always happy, or was there a point where you were just like, well, shit, maybe I should take over the family business. Maybe I should go back to you know what I mean?
No.
Or no, you were just, I'm going to do this.
Never had it.
It's a more interesting story to say that I had many nights of self-doubt, and I packed my car up and I was going to go home.
Yeah.
But it never happened.
Yeah.
It's not arrogance. It was just, I'm going to do this, and it works. And you knew when you were doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Just like I knew when I was doing sketch work and improv, you could tell you were keeping up with the good people.
Yeah. Yeah. You were good.
You got on stage and people laughed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes it was half the room, but at some point it was the whole room.
Yeah.
They were all laughing.
Yeah.
And that's a gift.
Yep.
And not everybody can do it. And you did it one night and another night and another night and another night. And every night you went up, people laughed. The entire room.
Yeah.
That says it.
That's it. That's literally what kept me going.
That's
Yeah.
a great point. That's a good point, because if you can make that self-assessment and understand that I'm actually pretty good at this.
Yeah.
It gives you that drive to keep going. But there are people who are not having that success, and they still keep going.
Yeah. There's guys that are not getting laughs.
Is that a different kind of drive?
15 years straight, and they're still doing it.
Is that a different drive?
Yeah, that is a different drive. Those guys are just confident.
That's denial.
David, your sketch group. Who was your crew? Who was the core crew with you guys at Second City that you came up
At Second
with?
City?
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 different companies. So you could be paired with a bunch of different people. Like I came up with Chris Farley.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
When I came up, it's Farley, Mike Myers, Carell, Colbert,
Jesus.
Gratch, Horatio Sands,
Jesus.
John Glazer. I could go on for 20 minutes. Now we're not all in the same company. It's 3 different companies.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're playing in different companies.
Yeah.
So
But you guys are all coming up at the same time, sharing the same stage in the same city. That is the all-star team right there. That's
it was
amazing,
remarkable.
bro. That must have been what electricity that must have been in Chicago at that time.
Well, you didn't know it,
Yeah.
right? But when you leave, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, man.
Time went on.
Yeah.
Although I did have a lunch with the guy that started the Second City in 1958, and he had said that he had never seen such a confluence of talent that had been there this past 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was remarkable. He could see it. So I thought there was something special. Matt Besser, who was one of the guys that started the UCB, he's writing a book about it now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just what you just named off was that's crazy. I mean, that's Hollywood right now.
Right,
I mean,
right.
some we're missing Chris, but that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
When you guys started together, and then next thing you know, you guys took over Hollywood. And you guys all came together in a central place in Chicago.
And they were just going to war, sharpening each other.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is those cats were all from I think Chris was from a small town too, wasn't he, or no?
He was from Madison.
And they all made it to Chicago.
Yeah.
That's so dope, dude. And then to take over the way you guys did, iconic films that you're in, David. And I hate to do this, but it'd be fun just for the fans to hear it. Which one was your favorite, or were they, between Anchorman and Talladega Nights, top 10 for me always. That's always whenever someone asks me what are my top 10s, those two are always in it. And
you have to say Anchorman. You have to say Anchorman and The Office. Those are the most two popular.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's right.
It doesn't.
It was just that. Well, first of all, you have so much, so it's hard to name. So it's not like I'm forget. It's just you have so much. But Anchorman, dude, amazing. Yeah. And then what you did in that was just so amazing. Each character was so developed and so right for the film. No one walked on anybody's shoes.
Right.
And then you come in with your cowboy hat and just that's amazing. Was that your decision, or was it was that written in the part, or was that you were the one that came up with this character?
That was my case. It was written. It was there. And then of course the way you decide to play it is you and the director.
Yeah.
But the cowboy hat was in the script.
Oh, that was sick, man. So of course Anchorman you put up there. I think everybody
McKay's pretty incredible, man. He's immense. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day.
Yeah.
What is I think you should write something about you now about this journey, because I think that's going to be one of the funniest. One, just write the book. You know what I mean? And then two,
have you written a book?
Fucking make it a TV show, man.
Have you written a book?
Yeah, the book comes out March 23rd, but we're not plugging. It's just me, my family. It's called Mixed Plate. This is so cool. It went from Koy Po to David Koechner. It's about my mom and dad, military life, being a half white, half Asian kid in America, and just trying to find my identity and my place out here. It's hard. It really is, man. And now I dealt with the time where just being half white and half Asian, finding my identity there, because Asians didn't know what I was, and of course white people didn't know what I was, and then going in for auditions, no one knew what to put me in, and it's just it was a tough time. And telling people my mom's story and my life story, and people going, I don't think they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of that, of me dealing with that and my identity. So I want people to hear that journey.
Yeah. So you had a theme that you found.
Yeah. It wasn't that. It was just I felt living in Hollywood, telling people that I'm half white, half Asian. It's people are oh, you're just doing that for the joke. And it's no, man, it's my fucking life.
Right.
And why can't I talk about my mom?
Right.
And why can't I be like my mom? When any other person that isn't, Asian or whatever, if they're, when you play your mom, you become your mom.
Right.
If you're a white guy and you're talking about your mom, you do a funny voice and sound like your mom. Well, why can't I be my mom? I'm acting out a situation between my mom and I, and that's how I'm delivering the joke. And for some reason, people are oh, well, why are you doing that? It's because it's my fucking mom. That's why. And you're not going to believe this, but there's a lot of people like us that live here in America.
Right,
you're friends with them.
Right.
If you're in a hospital, you'll meet 20 of my moms. They're the nursing staff. We need a voice.
Yeah.
And I felt every time I did it, and I'm not talking now. I'm just talking when I first moved out here. It was just like I couldn't talk about it.
Right.
It was so taboo. And I'm it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Why can't I talk about my mom? And so that's what I was. That's what's in the book. Just telling my journey and my story and my life, and getting to Netflix, David, I dealt with the same problem again. You know, they wouldn't give me a special, and you know, and God bless them. I love Netflix. I'm there now, but I had to shoot that special on my own. I paid for it myself, and you know, and one of the notes were, I don't know if they're gonna get it, and I'm like, well, fuck.
Right.
So I shot it
all over the country.
Yeah. And then, you know, after that, shit, man, I ended up
They've gotten it the 10,000 times I've done it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, we all have our stories. We all have our struggles. And I'm glad I got to do that and put it in a book. But man, I'd love to hear yours because it's motivating, bro. It's so cool to come from a small town, and, you know, you could have followed that path, bro. You could be making turkey cages right now. And we would have never seen, you know, the greatness that you are right now, man. So it takes something special. You need to listen to that inner voice, man. And you're a perfect example of that, bro. So thank you. Thank you for doing that.
You know, it sounds corny, but I really do believe we all have a calling.
Yep.
And I had to do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Especially you, bro.
It's interesting to me when people would, you know, pick that thing of, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, why are you asking me?
Yeah. So fucking true. Who the fuck are you to ask me that?
Exactly.
Why are you asking me that? Don't worry what I'm doing. Exactly. What are you doing? Why don't you ask yourself what you're doing? Because I'm living my life and I'm loving it.
Did I ask you for notes on my set?
So
and then
true.
Really go down that fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Don't let it go. No. Why are you asking?
Yeah, man.
Why does that bother you?
Why?
Who gave you the operations manual of life?
That's
You ever heard
so
of cat,
true.
Eddie Murphy?
What's that?
Say it again, David.
The person is talking to you. You ever heard of a cat named Eddie Murphy?
Exactly.
So Eddie Murphy can't do this. Roll Charlie around in there. Eddie Murphy can't do his dad. So Richard Pryor can't do Mudbone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't do characters.
Exactly.
So he feels weak near you, and he doesn't know what to do. And he might not even been meant to disparage it, but he didn't understand, so he tried to take it away.
You are a very wise dude,
Drop
man.
the fucking mic, David.
You're a wise dude, bro.
Thank you.
That's exactly what it is.
You know,
man.
that's how I've been wanting to say it my whole life.
That's exactly what it is.
Why? You know what I mean? It's so true.
It's either they're not able to or they're afraid to do certain things.
Yeah.
And they want to
they want to shoot it down around them.
Yep.
Because they don't want it to exist in a world.
Exactly.
Because then they feel less than.
Yeah, because they have to hold themselves up to that light.
God, David, you're good, bro. That's exactly it. 100%.
Yeah, why do we have to explain ourselves?
Yeah, why? What?
It's always better to ask a question.
Yes.
Because even if you said, because I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The door for them to say, I don't. Well, I don't give a fuck. 'Cause you're
No one gives a fuck.
Who gives a
Who
fuck?
gives a fuck? Am I in the line of who gives a fuck? Am I standing in the right line? Because I really don't give a fuck about your opinion.
If I did, I wouldn't have did it.
I would have done it.
if you ask the question
Yes.
in an open-ended way,
Yeah.
leaves the availability that maybe he'll think.
Yep.
God, dude.
Yep.
And you go, why are you asking? Now, you don't say, oh, do you not like it?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to say that,
No.
Nah.
right? Because you don't give a shit.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
Or if you go, it works, that leaves this dickhead open to all kinds of shit.
Yep. Yep. You just opened up the door. That's so true, man.
We
Thank you for-
sit there to defend our fucking lives and decisions on our existence, and we don't have to.
Nope.
Bro, I'm gonna play this pod back for myself.
Yeah, I am too, bro. I love everything that's coming out of your mouth right now, David.
We better quit.
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
The minute you start living for somebody else, then you have just stopped living. Don't ever let anyone dictate what you want to do in life or your future. Don't let someone walk up to you and manipulate their fucking evils on you.
Right.
Because that's just their own little evils.
Fucking shortcomings.
Yeah,
They're gonna put 'em on
shortcomings. You know what they are? They're masterminds of deflection.
Yeah.
They don't want to see people what they can't do. So they try and make it look like you can't do it.
You. Exactly.
We recognize they've got pain.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
We don't
much.
have to beat them down or give them any energy. We don't have to be mad at them.
Nope.
Yep.
We don't have to disparage them.
Nope.
We can have empathy for them, but we don't spend time on it.
No.
Yes, sir.
God bless you.
That's the truth, man.
Damn, dude.
I hate
That's the truth.
you.
If,
Okay.
if Catholicism didn't do something good for you, David, it was that line right there.
Well,
You could say that in Latin, and I would have loved it, David. That is so true.
What? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no. What he said. This is what David said. David said, you can give empathy for him.
Yeah.
And you can, but you don't have to make it public.
Right.
Just God bless them.
Yep. And you don't
Because
have,
the
and
minute you give them energy, the minute you go, dude, I feel sorry for you, and make that public, then you've already given them energy again.
Yeah.
And you don't need to do that. Let them live in that whatever fucking world that they live in.
that funk that they're
Let
living
them
in.
sit there. Because anything you give them, any kind of energy, they win. Your energy is valuable.
Well, and you lose because now you've given them
Exactly.
your,
Don't
your
give
energy.
it. That's why what David said. Empathy is fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to encourage it.
Right.
But you can sit back and look at them and go, God bless them.
Yeah.
And you can do that. Feel sorry for people that live those lives,
Yeah.
but don't make it public.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, well-
you step into their world.
Huh?
Because then you step into their world. You don't need to. You can
Well,
step
once
back
you
and
catch
just
yourself getting angry,
yeah,
now I'm not with myself.
exactly.
Did you ever read Eckhart Tolle?
No.
No.
He's a pretty good philosopher. He's the one that wrote Power of Now.
Okay.
It's dense.
Is it?
Oh my God, I'll have to read 3 pages 10 times.
Okay.
But he said, people are pain bodies. And the only way to get energy, you're a pain body, you get to get other people involved in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way you've got your energy going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Because that way they feel alive, right?
Yeah.
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 If you're just relaxed in what we hope to get to is some Zen state, I'm just here. I don't need anything except the air and that coffee I hope to be ordering soon. Now, I could be mad that I think the person in front of me is 7 feet away from the other person. You should move 1 more foot because it's 6 feet different, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for what,
Yeah.
Why'd they take so long? Oh, you're going to order another thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm activating my pain body for what?
Yeah, man.
Right.
For what? Energy is very valuable. Consider it being a Bitcoin. You can't see it,
Yeah.
but it's valuable. And don't spend it.
Yeah.
Spend it wisely, man. And be careful who you give it to.
For sure.
I mean, I can't say this, any more direct than what I am. Your energy is valuable. It's more valuable than gold, water. It's more valuable than anything because it's your life source.
Yeah.
And you've only given so much of it. And the more and more you give, the less you feel healthy.
Yeah.
You ever do that? You ever spend so much energy on something
Oh,
that's so negative, you start to
sure.
feel sick?
For sure.
That's where that saying comes, sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
You don't have time, man. Live life, relax, spend your fucking energy wisely, man. But live your life.
Yeah.
Live your truth. If you're in a small town, you want to be an actor and not a turkey cage farmer. And nothing wrong with turkey cages.
Someone's gotta go.
It gave you a beautiful life, David.
Yep.
So no disrespect to your dad, but thank God you went to Chicago, my guy, because you are an icon. And we love you, David. I swear to God, dude, just looking at your face, I smile.
Yeah.
Because it brings back every damn character you do on TV and on the big screen and everyone that you worked alongside with. And you're like Ali in the ring, bro. You could put Frazier in front of him and you go toe to toe, bro. That's you, David.
I've seriously, and I mean this in the most respectful way, have been watching something, a show or even a movie, and not knowing you were in it.
Yeah.
And you come on in the scene, and I'm like, oh, this is about to be
fun. You smile. Yeah. You just smile. You're like, here it comes. Yeah. Here it comes. They said they needed heat, and here it is. That's what this guy is.
There he goes.
Yeah. David, I love you, man. And I mean that from my heart. I know people don't like it that you use you use that phrase too much, Joe. I love you. There's two different I love yous. Mm-hmm. There's I'm in love with you, which is the person that you're in love with, and you're allowed to do that. Yeah. And there's people that you generally love. Like, I love you, man, because what you've done for me indirectly. I'm in this game, you know what I mean? And, I remember being in the theater and watching you crush and just being like, I can do it. Yeah. If this guy can do it, I can do it. And that's what you do indirectly, man. So I appreciate this moment and sharing these words with you. And man, I'm going to rewind a couple of the things that you said.
No doubt. No doubt. Drop some jewels.
Just ask a question.
Yes, sir.
You said there are people that tell me I say that word too much.
Oh, yeah. There are. I've heard that because I do use it. I don't think I use it loosely. I don't think there is enough love in the world.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There it is.
There it is. You want to use it?
But there it is.
There it is. You said
you're happy to use it?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would somebody care?
Why the fuck do you care that I say I love you too much?
Happy to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mean it?
I fucking mean it when I say it. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah. The other person.
But not to cut you off, but even if, let's say you didn't mean it and you were just trying to get somebody to the other side of their day.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Fuck.
Who
just
cares?
Use that. Like I said, energy is valuable. When you hear someone say, hey, man, I love you, fucking take that energy. It takes a lot for someone to say that to somebody. And when you receive it, you should enjoy that.
Exactly.
Because that's a nice gesture. It's better than saying, hey, man, fuck you. Now, that'll ruin your day. But you're going to get mad at someone that says, hey, love you? Now, something's wrong with your energy source.
Yeah, for sure.
Rethink yourself.
I think it's probably the most powerful thing you can say to another person.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For sure.
David, I love you, bro.
I love you too.
Yes!
You did it.
Watch everything that David puts out. I'm
gonna really quick.
Yes.
The right one.
Yes.
Is out on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV Plus, Vudu, I believe is Budu.
Yeah.
And Amazon Prime. There
but of course, everything else that David puts out, Anchorman, Talladega Nights. He's is the Goldbergs. You guys don't you have another season? Didn't you guys do another season?
They're currently on season 8.
Yep. Unbelievable. That doesn't exist anywhere in the world anymore. Season 8.
Right.
I know. A network show, yeah.
Yeah, for a network. Are you kidding me? Season 8, David, and just everything, David. And by the way, when this world opens back up, he also hits the stage quite frequently. If he's not making a movie, he does stand up everywhere. David, I love you. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Peace.
You're the king. Icon. David Koechner. Love you guys.
I love you and I like you.
You're the best, man. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
Love you.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace and love. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
you're the best. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.